line. Giving it one down, on left.
Houston, roll, alignment complete.
Little gravel road.
Copy.
And we got another momentary enable caution Providence MRTS manifold 6 ox P.
No impacts to Prox Ops demo. Good to continue.
Integrity.
Point 2. Set. Okay, let me center ICPS and get stable. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go right. Okay, roll right and hold. Alright, roll right. It's coming in. Roll good motion, no cross coupling. Only roll right. I see ICPS. It is slow, easy to anticipate.
Let me touch my breath. Time's up. I'll kill all you savages! Do something! Do something! I'll slaughter all you beaten cunts! Die, Greymane! Calling you bad would be unfair.
0.7 degrees low. Pitch up and hold. Alright, pitch up. And stop. And very responsive also. Spring. Pitch down and hold. Back to initial vertical position. Stop. After. Very nice. Ready for yaw to pulse.
Never cast a line before. You're missing out.
A good motion. There's alright in, yaw left 1 pulse, stopped it right at 1, 2, 3. Very responsive in yaw as well. Left 1 pulse, good motion, no cross coupling, and 1 degree. Stopped, overshot about 1/8 of a degree. Back to original position. Yaw going back to discrete. Yawing right and hold. 1 degree. Good motion, no cross coupling. 1/2 a degree. There's 1. 1 degree stopped and overshot about an eighth of a degree, but nice capture. Yeah, I'm getting a little of a bounce here. I think that, not sure, it's most likely from us, the camera, or this vehicle wobbling in yaw. So ICPS is moving, it's wobbling left and right slightly in the camera view. It did stop at the 1 degree of motion quite precisely, but we got this bobble just now, going back to initial position by yawing left and holding. While it's yawing, it is solid. There's no bobble. Stop, released. See if that bobble comes back. There is a slight bobble, maybe dead banding or just the camera or the vehicle fluctuating. Are you guys seeing that, Houston? Are you seeing the bobble in the docking cam video?
Victor, we are not, but it might be because it's low rate for us.
Okay, copy. Had a little bit of a lateral oscillation there.
Houston, authority, DAP checkout complete, ready for step 12.
Copy, go to continue, and also, once you get there, you are go for forward target approach to 10 meters.
Integrity.
Copy. No. The DAP is going to course. It is showing course. 16 in, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 14, 15, 16 ins.
Houston approach initiated from approximately 2.
All right, I'm going to give it 1
Copy,
down.
2.7.
All right, we're coming up on 3 degrees wide. Stand by for 3 degrees. Pack 3 degrees wide. Gave it 1 down. It doesn't seem to be tracking down. Give it 1 more. Very good. Responding to that one. Going to give it 1 left in course as well. Good directions. Good, are you okay?
Just view live inside Orion.
Do you need any lighting adjustments in the cabin?
Cam camera looks good to us. Thanks.
Integrity.
That will be at 45 degrees wide. Stand by. Pack 3.5 degrees wide. 1523.
The crew received the go to move in towards 10 meters away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
That's about 4 degrees wide.
Space prepares us for future missions when we'll need to dock with the
Stand by for 4 degrees wide. Pack ICS is 4 degrees wide at 19. Course, and here comes 10 outs. 5. 10 outs. ICPS is still stable. That little wobble, lateral, a little yaw induced. Again, can't tell if that's the camera or the vehicle, but overall it's pretty stable. Very, very minor oscillation.
Houston, 75-meter braking is complete. Going into dock cam exposure check.
Copy.
Top of the defense. Take that 5. Right. Stand by for 4.5 at 19. wide, 2020. Okay, next action is when the center docking target is 1 degree wide. It is about half a degree wide right now. 6, half,
Yeah.
20, 40, 6 degrees wide. Fine, I'm gonna go 1 up. 8. Copy, going course and 1 out.
Hiya!
Course, 1 out. Excuse me, I did skip 5.5. Half that's 5.5 degrees wide. I skipped 1. I skipped 5. Did a mistaken slowdown, so I went back course and 1 in. Not as far ahead as we thought we were. At 6.5 degrees fine. You're fine going up. Up, 2 ups.
Oh!
6 degrees. 6 degrees wide, about that. I think I skipped through 6.5. I'll give you 7. Stand by for 7 degrees. GPS is 7 degrees wide. 45. Alright, in ICPS, the center docking target is about 0.7 degrees wide. Next tack is 7.5, correct? Alright, 7.5 tack. Right about 7.5 degrees wide on the center docking target. Left is fine. 8 degrees, 23, 22. Alright, I'm going to transition to center docking target. 0.8 degrees wide. The next action will be course and 6 outs when it's 1 degree wide. There's something floating to the right of ICPS. Did you see that float off the screen on camera view? 0.8 degrees wide. Quite large. Alright, I'm going to course. 0.9 degrees. 1 degree wide. Here comes 6 outs. 1, 2, 3, 6 outs.
Houston, 30-meter braking complete.
Copy.
This view from Orion's docking camera looking at the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. They have completed their 30-meter braking and are flying in towards 10 meters away.
I'll be looking for 2.5 plus or minus quarter of a degree. It's about 1.2, 1.1.
in view at this time. Again, we are coming in, we were at 30 meters, moving in toward 10 meters away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. And again, we are seeing a docking target, but this is practice. We are not docking to anything today. This is a test of how Orion flies when completed manually by the pilot.
Actually holding quite close to the center, so I haven't had to make many corrections. Nice and stable so far. We are at manual exposure 1, which is interesting. I don't know what the sun angle is right now, but that seems to be the best view. You see the shadow of the Center Cross. Right there. Maybe put these seatbelts weren't a good idea because now I can't see it. Alright, next one will be 1.5. Stand by. Tack 1.5 degrees wide at 2650. Then at 2.5, this minus quarter of a degree, we force 4 knots.
Run! Yeah!
And I'm jealous I can't float up to the window and see it out in front of us. Coming up on 1.75 degrees wide.
This view inside Orion, the crew is using their iPhones to take pictures out of the window of the... They're able to see the interim cryogenic propulsion stage outside the window.
So once we get to 2.25 degrees wide,
to arrive 10 meters away from the ICPS.
Copy. I'm going to go ahead and go to course now.
Hiya!
And I see we're at about 2.25 degrees wide. I think we're in the window to start breaking. Let's start the house. 1, 2, 3, 4 outs. That did not induce a lot of rotation, so not a lot of cross controlling there. Waiting for stabilize. I'm showing us about 2.
Go to execute forward target handling quality test.
They're 2.3 degrees wide. We're in the window.
Crew is now moving into some precision translation.
We are within 2 degrees, definitely. I could do 1 or 2 things. Out. Okay, yep, I'm going to set it up, so I'm going to go down and translate just a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a fraction of a degree. Going to 6x. And I'm waiting for that cross to get centered, and then I will pitch up.
Again, Glover is able to...
right there. Stop it. Now I'm going to pitch up, center it.
Glover is using the docking camera on Orion, looking at the ICPS that you see in the left of your screen.
Very easy to show us 3. Stay firm. Turn 5. 3x zoom coming.
This is a zoom view from the docking camera on Orion. We are about 10 meters away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
Y-axis ready. Start in the center, and we're out and fine. Okay.
Get going!
It does seem to move a little bit more, but it's very responsive.
Looking for anyone specific?
So I was able to stop it right on the center. Holding at 2.6, 6x zoom going in. Ready. All right, half inner circle for 60 seconds. Good range. Inputs and see if I can hold that stable.
One step 16.
We'll always be ready.
Alright, big dab is fine. We're holding at 2.5. Center. It's down and hold. Go 1 degree, good motion, no cross coupling, half a degree. 1 full degree, good motion, stop. Wow, stop right on the line. That's very responsive. The yawning button. Half a degree. And stopping it right on the vertical grid line. We got a little bit of a translation. Look back, yawning right, good motion, cross coupling, half a degree. Back to the center line, stop. Very, very nice control in the rotations. Go left, motion. Good motion. And copy that, Dana. Thank you. Going back to center. Receive the motion of all the lines and steps that we just did.
Houston, we're to VE race back.
You thought this would be easy.
He is backing away from the interim crisis, having operation demonstration.
Single idea where you are.
Backing away, as was planned. The interim cryogenic propulsion stage will make a turn, and then the crew will fly in again and conduct similar tests with a side docking target. We're just over 4 hours since launch today. A very busy day for the crew.
Go back to your own land.
Back away, complete.
Copy.
Confirmation the crew has completed backing away from the ICPS.
Right at 1.5.
Expecting the thermal turn to happen in about 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Alright, on Zoom 1X to watch the thermal turn.
Glover is also able to
Yeah.
choose the zoom on the docking target. The view on the left will allow us to also see the thermal turn. Standing by for interim cryogenic propulsion stage to do a thermal turn.
I see motion. I see pitch on ICPS.
ICPS thermal turn start.
Alright, here comes down. Course 1, 2, 3, 8 down pulses.
Great view of the ICPS that powered Orion during the perigee raise maneuver and apogee raise burn.
4, 5, 8. I can see the side docking target. That is a good looking American flag. Happy?
Again, this view coming from the docking camera on Orion, looking at the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. You can see that docking target down near the bottom of your screen.
ICPS thermal turn complete.
Copy that, Amy. We'll start working our way down.
Reminder, we are not docking today. This is a test of how it feels for pilot Victor Glover to manually fly the spacecraft. He's using the zoom feature on the docking camera to get exactly the view he wants as he prepares to move in and around the ICPS.
And docking target is about 1.75 degrees.
And Houston, we're holding at step 20, waiting for your go.
Stand by.
And we're almost to 2 degrees wide.
And I just don't want to lose this in the data, Amy. The separation was way back when we separated from ICPS. It was very aggressive.
Integrity, you are go for approach to side target to 15 meters and to execute handling quality tests.
Our course.
We are picking it up in step 20. I'll copy.
We copy.
Oh, it's almost 2 degrees wide. Their course, almost to 2 degrees wide, and here comes 4 outs. 1, 2, 4. All right, 2 plus or minus a quarter. We are.
Houston, 15-meter hold is confirmed.
Copy.
Orion is now 15 meters away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
It's a couple outs.
They will not move in any closer. They're going to continue piloting the spacecraft.
3 left coming in now. 1, 2, 3. Good motion. A lateral, we might have a tad bit of closure and coming right to 2. All right. Okay, about a quarter of a degree, less than a quarter of a degree up to 3 rights, 2.1 degrees wide. Good motion. Half a degree. All right, here comes the lefts to stop it. 2, 3. Three downs. 2, 3. Start measuring from the center. There's center. Good motion.
And Houston, with this sun angle, the white paint on these ICPS is so illuminated.
Half a
It's
degree.
very hard to look at with the naked eye.
1,
Houston, copy.
2, 3. We picked up a little bit of motion to the left on ICPS. Stop that. Bring it back up. 1, 2, 3 to bring it back to center. Also curve you back. Good motion.
Didn't expect him to go this far.
46 minutes since the start of the proximity operations demonstration.
2.
Cruise.
6.1 degrees wide.
Kill him!
Here on the back.
You don't know your place. Came all this way to meet your death, did you? Your carcass isn't worth claiming! I'll leave it to my crows! Let me remind you of your weakness. Again. Is that all the fight you have in you? You think this pathetic display is worthy of my favor? Your life is...
Higher gain, higher frequency of inputs. It's very responsive. I just have to make inputs because it does seem to pick up lateral motion. Commanding. I'm able to hold the magenta cross within the width of the black cross. It's on the side.
Let me remind you of your weakness. Again. Is that all the fight you have in you? You think this pathetic display is worthy of Mother's favor? Life is hardly worth the effort of taking.
Of Orion in relation to the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
3x.
Should I be feeling overpowered yet?
Don't get cocky, Greymane. Come and find me. Your doom awaits.
Range is just inside.
We copy that, Amy.
Alright, lateral motion is gonna hold. 355 to 35. Nice and stable, focusing on range. We're out, got a little opening. Some ends to correct. Got some dynamics there at the beginning going yaw, the translation yaw, translation, but caught up. Was able to correct it out without any problems. Moderate or less workload. Now it's very stable, just focusing on range. In 50 to 345, and at 345 we go left. 50 to 345. Nice and stable. Range is good. 45, nice and stable. Position to go course.
The crew is on a timeline and about 2 minutes away from the multi-degree of freedom yaw test.
7, 5, 6. Yeah, that rate has gone down quite a bit. 55, there's picked that course. Yeah, the yaw rate has dropped off a bit. I put it back in. Okay, at 3, we'll go discreet. Right, coming up on 3. Right, left to
Teacher, I think I hear strange noises outside.
outside. Range is good.
Sounds like someone's come calling. It'll settle soon. No need to worry.
Stop lying. I don't see the director anywhere.
Peace now.
I'm scared.
Peace. Solomon watches over us. I'll go see if the director's safe. There could be danger, so bolt the door and keep out of sight. You're not to go outside. Understood? No matter the knocking. If it's not my voice, do not open the door.
Try to know a little bit.
All right.
Oscillating around center.
I won't.
Okay, I'm ready. Big 10. All right, got a good yaw rate. I'll watch the yaw rate closer this time. Fine. Okay. I did that in before to fine. Back to, all right, going out. So course out. All right, there we go. I see opening. Alright, thank you. I'll go back to fine. Alright, that yaw rate is slightly dropping off. I'm 348. One more out. 355. 350, 355. Alright, there's big course. 2.1. Again, a little dynamic at the beginning, but to stabilize all the motion and correct it. Going up on 0. vehicle on the behind the docking target moving as we. All right, we're stabilized. About 1.75.
Houston, yaw multi-action test complete.
Copy.
I do.
Almighty Solomon, watch over your son.
Alright, Houston, we're in instruction 167. TK
Die, Alvis!
Calm yourself. I'm looking for a man clad in black feathers. I was pursuing him and lost the trail at the altar.
Almighty Solomon.
You know something about this?
Even after all that bloodshed, those fiends forced open Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate?
It's the sanctuary we have stood watch over for generations. Not simply because it was sacred. There's more to it.
And now 4 hours and 20 minutes since liftoff.
It is said that the gate leads to a world beyond our own. But now those wicked souls have passed through.
So this was the showdown he sought.
They were evil incarnate. They sought the secret to open Heaven's Gate and slaughtered the faithful who held their tongues.
That's what befell all those people.
Most were murdered. A lucky few were taken away. It was hell itself. They said it was all for the mother.
Madman.
Of course, we're not docking to anything.
In the cellar lies a relic that can open Heaven's Gate.
Tess helps us understand
Here,
how Orion flies
take the key
manually
and stop those monsters.
when we'll
Find
have to dock
somewhere
to the
safe
lander.
and stay hidden.
The commands Glover has been sending to
Have to throw another yaw in there to keep it at point 2. Yeah. Overall, guys, this flies very nicely. Copy. 347 for pulse.
what Glover is using to command the spacecraft, the translational and rotational hand controllers.
Very precise. 3X set. It's the 358. Pitch down, going in.
Orion is using the 24 reaction control system thrusters on the European service module.
358 set. All right, going back to center. So course, back getting the dock count, target back to center. Focus on being stable. Yeah, the thruster firings are a lot less aggressive than I thought it would sound or feel. Like driving on a gravelly road. The response is quite immediate. Not all the X's are even. Roll is very, very slow. Pitch and yaw are very snappy and responsive. And when you have the zoom set right, you can see these very small motions, and so the translations are all quite very nicely balanced.
Houston, are you ready for the AKT with the park show?
Affirm.
Currently, Orion is about 15 meters away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. At the conclusion of the proximity operations demonstration,
And Reed, please repeat.
Holding on instruction 185, just want to make sure you are ready for DAP 18 and go for departure.
Go for DAP 18 and go for departure.
Copy, Houston, that's in word.
Capcom Amy Dill calling to the crew. They are go for departure from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
3 out. Houston, integrity departure initiated.
Copy.
Orion is now backing away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. The proximity operations demonstration is complete. Coming up next, we will have the upper stage separation burn, providing distance between Orion and the ICPS.
Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. Copy, going off Fox. Great flying with you, Houston. Nice vehicle.
Great job, Victor, and to the entire crew, and we enjoyed your excitement at seeing ICPS out the window.
Houston, I am bringing the exposure control down to 1 so that we get some video. Let us know if you want that higher for your bearing test.
Setting of 1 is good for us.
This is a live view from the Vehicle Ascent and Launch Operations Room. This is Valor, the ULA launch team support room. They are responsible for observing any program issues that may require their experience to correctly detect and assess. They've been monitoring the health of the ICPS prior to launch.
Houston, no action on the cautions.
They've been monitoring ICPS since before launch, through launch, and obviously during the proximity operations until the ICPS end of mission. Back inside Orion, we are expecting their upper stage separation burn again. That will take them away from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage very shortly. The interim cryogenic propulsion stage will then connect to the disposal burn and will burn up upon re-entry over the atmosphere of the Pacific Ocean. This view of the interim cryogenic propulsion stage.
Copy.
Four hours, 27 minutes since Orion launched.
ICPS is stabled in the DOTCAM field of view. We are going to stay in authority DAP, and we are going to discontinue all manual THC inputs.
Copy, Reed. Please take DOTCAM exposure to 0, wait 20 seconds, and then take back to 1.
I guess that didn't work.
Thanks.
As you heard Capcom Amy Dill ask the crew, they are able to control the exposure that we see from the docking camera down on the bottom right side of your screen as the interim cryogenic propulsion stage gets farther and farther away. That's actually Orion backing away from the ICPS, having recently completed the proximity operations demonstration, during which pilot Victor Glover manually flew Orion. On the left side of your screen, you can see Glover in the left. He's currently in seat 1, having conducted those prox ops. And on the right is NASA astronaut and commander of Artemis 2, Reed Wiseman.
In Houston, here comes the ATP for our Pod 2 coast.
We're ready.
We are going to 12.2.2515 USS 2 execution.
We're with you.
Four hours and 30 minutes since liftoff today of Orion, also referred to as Integrity, atop the Space Launch System rocket at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The crew continues to back away from the ICPS, the interim cryogenic propulsion stage that was used for the perigee raise maneuver, and the apogee raise burn that put them in the high Earth orbit where they're at now. Coming up shortly is the upper stage separation burn. Upper stage separation provides what we need to distance Orion and the interim cryogenic propulsion stage even further. The ICPS will have its own disposal burn. ICPS maneuvers.
Integrity copies. Houston, we're checking with you in step 4, burn config ATP.
Go to continue, ready for ATP.
Houston, ATP burn config is go.
Copy.
This view live in Artemis Mission Control here at Johnson Space Center in Houston as the Orbit 1 team continues monitoring the flight of Orion on the Artemis 2 mission. We've just completed the proximity operations demo, during which pilot Victor Glover manually flew the Orion spacecraft, the first time anyone has done so. And we're preparing for the upper stage separation burn to separate Orion from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage even further. Major burns after this point are using the OMS, the orbital reaction control system thrusters on the European service module.
Integrity ICPS maneuver in work.
Interim cryogenic propulsion stage making an additional maneuver of the USS-2 burn. That USS-2 burn coming from Orion. The ICPS will have its own disposal burn and will burn up upon re-entry over the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. Hiya! Back to your cursed homeland!
Just down the hall from the International Space Station Mission Control Room, also flying with humans aboard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have completed the proximity operations demonstration aboard Orion. Looking ahead to the upper stage separation burn. This provides distance from between Orion and the ICPS. The ICPS will have its own disposal burn at about 5 hours MET. We are now 4 hours and 37 minutes MET, or time since launch. a long day for the crew aboard Orion, and they still have a few tasks to complete before they can go to bed tonight. Of course, we'll have the upper stage separation burn that they will need to monitor. They'll continue doffing and stowing suits.
Houston's here.
Can you confirm what status you want us for suit dray?
Checking. And Integrity, can you confirm that you did the glove swap activity?
Negative, we did not do the glove swap activity.
All right, when able, you can do the glove swap activity, and then we'll need a 15-minute timer, and then we'll be ready to terminate suit drying.
Integrity.
Solar arrays are now in motion ahead of the USS 2 burn, the upper stage separation 2 burn. And with proximity operations complete, we will look forward to hearing from pilot Victor Glover how it felt to fly Orion. But just before his launch, we got to ask him how it felt and how he was looking forward to it.
As a test pilot, the opportunity to fly a spaceship is just a dream. It's unreal. The piloting role specifically, I will have an hour and a half or so where I get to fly the spacecraft by hand. And we fly Orion a lot in the simulator to train, but also to build an experience base for how the teams on the ground think Orion's going to work. And then when we fly Orion in space, we're actually going to compare the two and help them make better models. You know, my inner test pilot is like, of course, very excited about that. But really, the point of this is to make sure that Orion is a safe spacecraft so that we can go and do more complicated missions without having to think about a test pilot on every mission. So far, I really like the way Orion flies, but it's only been in the simulator. And so the ability to fly one actually in space on a test mission is just a really unique opportunity.
Again, those words from pilot Glover, his flight aboard Orion. Demonstration. Now he has got to do the real thing today, prox ops having just completed about 10 minutes ago. This view live inside Artemis Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston as the crew continues to move away from the ICPS ahead of that upper stage separation burn. Also, solar arrays are now in position ahead of the upper stage now 4 hours and 46 minutes since liftoff. This view coming live from the spacecraft, looking at one of the solar arrays. Those solar arrays are now swept forward, and that protects them from any loads imparted when we conduct this upper stage separation burn. And also serves as our deorbit burn. live from Orion. You can see on the right the solar array. We also heard some calls from Capcom Amy Dill to the crew about some cautions that they will see aboard the spacecraft that they're looking into on the reaction control system thrusters, and no action is needed at this time.
Yeah. Hiya.
Checking. And Reed, we will suppress from the ground the CMS 300 caution.
conversational level with the mic about a half a centimeter from my mouth. How do you hear me right now?
Tom, let's tell him it's definitely better, 3 or 4 by 5.
It's a bit better. It's about 3 or 4 by 5.
Okay, Amy, and now I am talking to you with the tip of the boom mic pressed against my upper lip, so I have lip contact on the mic. How's this now?
5 by 5.
Okay, I will let the crew know. Thank you.
We copy. In Integrity Houston on 1, whenever you're ready, we do have some toilet troubleshooting.
Okay, Houston, we copy on toilet. We have one sewage delta for you. Let me know when you're ready to copy.
We're ready for stowage delta.
Very simple. The PWD cover is in Foxtrot 2, not Foxtrot 3. Okay, Amy, just give us 2 minutes till we're ready to look here.
Standing by.
The interim cryogenic propulsion stage burn has started. Again, this is a disposal burn. The ICPS will re-enter Earth's atmosphere and harmlessly burn up over the Pacific Ocean. Additionally, we are expecting the CubeSats to be released soon from the Orion stage adapter on the launch system upper stage into a high Earth orbit where they will conduct orbital refrigeration CubeSats from great nations including Germany, South Korea, and Argentina. They have their own distinct separate on this mission. CubeSats are shoebox-sized payloads that have the potential to expand our knowledge of the space environment. The German Space Agency, or DLR's CubeSat will measure effects of the space environment on electrical components to inform technologies for lunar vehicles. The Korea Aerospace Administration, or KASA's KRADQ, will measure space radiation and biological effects of Earth's kinetic radiation.
big picture.
All 4 crew members are here, Jeff.
Fantastic. Okay, it's been a great day, guys, and we're going to try and get you to bed a little bit early today. We do want to do the 4K encoder setup, as well as the toilet troubleshooting. I don't think it'll take very long. Ideally, we'd get that done here in the next hour or so, along with the conferences, and then get you guys to bed a little bit. That's what we're thinking down here.
Jeff, that all sounds great to us. I have a couple pieces of information if you have Alright, just how we're going to break up the crew right now to handle this. Victor is the lead for suit drying and suit stowage. And we show that we have had glove swap for about 15 minutes, so we can probably move on there. How copy?
We copy.
Okay, Jeff is going to be the cabin config supervisor. He is going to get into cabin config, but as his first activity, he is going to get a power chain set up with the co-op ring and then your 4K encoder, and I will help him. How copy?
We copy.
Christina is going to work the toilet troubleshooting with you, so when you all are ready, if you are happy with what Victor and Jeremy are doing, I will hand the job and the toilet lead over to Christina.
Copy. Stand by for delivery change.
This view inside Mission Control Houston, specifically Artemis Mission Control, as the crew is reporting down some of their tasks that they're continuing to work on at the end of this flight day. The crew so far, again, waking up about 8 hours before the flight, just now 5 hours and 5 minutes ago. After a successful ride to orbit, they saw the the apogee rays burn and got into the proximity operations demonstration. They then conducted the upper stage separation burn to start the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. That's put us into our current configuration. The crew is working inside the cabin to configure it, configure where they will be in suits, and we'll eventually get into pre-sleep and sleep opportunities before the apogee rays burn in the middle.
Correction, are we going to terminate the suit drying?
for 1 minute. And then we would also like you to have available 250 milliliters of water. We're not ready for that yet. We'll let you know when the power cycle is complete.
On how to resolve that situation. possible in preparation for future missions.
Okay, excellent news, Christina, and we are discussing if there's anything further.
As you heard, NASA astronaut Christina Cook called down to the ground. She had a second good checkout of the toilet, and teams here are discussing whether they want to pursue any further steps. And at this time, we expect those 4 secondary CubeSat payloads that were on the Space Launch System are expected to have completed their deployment based on their own timers. And we don't have direct confirmation of this, but the payload teams will be able to communicate with and track their CubeSats. You might, so we went ahead and warmed up the heater, so you're good to empty the CCU at your convenience.
We copy all, thank you.
And correction, we actually want you to hold off for now on the CCU emptying.
Came from the mirror. I made a team people who developed a guidance, navigation, and control system for Orion. It's kind of a mouthful, but basically, where are we, how do we get to where we want to go, and how do we control the vehicle? We work hand in hand with the people in this room, the flight controllers, and we developed the Proxops demo and all the pilot
Proxops demo, I would love to hear about what your team was hoping to learn during that demonstration.
Yeah, it's a very important data collection activity on Artemis 2. There are basically 3 categories of things we wanted to learn. Controlling the vehicle involves a whole loop of hardware. So we start with the docking camera view you saw on the NASA TV. That goes to the display. The crew has to interpret that image and decide what to do. testing to see how it will. The second category thing is the docking camera. Cameras in space have historically had problems because the space light is very, very tough. Whereas the nights are very bright and the darks are very dark. We've done all the testing we can with the camera. They like to test the space environment to see how it will. And then the third category of things, when we got close to the ICPS, very, very, very small maneuvers. They're less than 100 meters per second velocity change in the vehicle. They're so low that our IMU can't detect them, so we need a target vehicle out of focus so that we can actually see the motion. So we collected all that data, and now we have some stuff to look at this way.
That's fascinating. And I know pilot Victor Glover was really excited to see, and really quickly, we are getting an amazing view right now, I believe, from Orion, and that may be the Earth or the Moon in the very background. It actually looks like a crescent Earth there in the background. This is coming from one of the solar array wing cameras aboard Orion.
Integrity Houston for CCU answers.
Go ahead.
Christina, two options for when you can dump the CCU. One option is today at MET. Dump time for us, or we can find a time for you to empty the CCU tomorrow.
Help me out with that math. How long from now is that dump time for today?
About an hour.
And I think we preferred to get it up today during that time.
Copy, Christina, and we'll come back to you around that time, letting you know when you're go to dump the CCU.
Perfect. Thank you.
Some more communications with the crew aboard Orion, calling down to Capcom Amy Dill. And this view on your screen, that is Earth in the center of your screen from the Orion spacecraft. Again, a camera mounted aboard the spacecraft's solar array wing, looking back at all of us. Now, I want to get back to our interview. Dave, the Deputy Manager of Guidance, Navigation, and Control for Orion, talking about ProcStop's a really dynamic time. And we heard from NASA astronaut Victor Glover the entire time that he was piloting the spacecraft. And I know that's additional information for your team as well. So what will you interpret from the information about the spacecraft that Victor called down?
Yeah, the crew's comments, Victor's in particular, are very important to us. Obviously, when the crew is manually controlling the spacecraft, we're interested in that task being easy for them to accomplish. So Victor was given a lot of feedback while he was flying. It shows his test pilot background, you know, because that's what test pilots do. They mention the good, the bad, and the ugly as they're flying. So that's a very important part of this. We're actually going to get a score from them of how Orion did. It's called handling qualities. It's a time-tested tradition in the aircraft world that we adopted for spaceflight back in the shuttle days. So they will give us, actually give us a score. It's called a handling quality score.
Fascinating. So once you get that score from them, when will you get that? And then what will you do to digest that feedback? What's next for your team?
We'll dive into the video and look at the commands that the pilots made, that Victor made, and the way the system responded, and look at the video to make sure the vehicle did what we expected it to do. And we'll look at all of that afterwards. We've got Victor's comments live now that we'll get to all post-flight when we interview crew post-flight.
Well, that's great. And I know that this is not the only time during the mission that the crew is manually flying the vehicle. There's a manual piloting demo coming up in a few days, so is there anything that your team learned today that will inform how that demo will go or any preparations?
Yeah, there's actually lots of different kinds of manual piloting tasks. The one that we did today is one of the more complex ones. We did it first because we needed the ICPS to be there, and the ICPS, we had a limited amount of time before it had to perform its disposal burn. So these other tasks don't require an ICPS. We'll be doing some tasks of pointing the vehicle. We'll ask the crew to point to the star to simulate a future operation where we need the vehicle at a target, long range, when the target is still at long range. So there's just lots, and we're going to turn jets off to simulate a degraded control system and see how the control system responds. So we have a lot of other manual control tasks coming.
Definitely a lot of action still to come for your crew.
Yeah, and all this is, some of those so by being able to do it now, if we see any funnies in the data or decide we need to make any corrections, we have time to make those corrections before the Artemis 3 flight. It really is a buy-down for Artemis 3, that's why we're doing this, is to get some of the system tests behind us before we fly the first dockings for real on Artemis 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a test flight, and with that, I would love to know how you feel after the crew has now piloted Orion for the very first time.
Oh, it's always a great feeling to see something that your team developed go fly for real. I've been around for a while. I've seen this many times. The luster never fades. It's always fun to actually fly and see your stuff in operation.
I can only imagine. I'm so excited for your team. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see everything that is to come in the upcoming days. So thank you again so much for joining us, Dave Dennemiller, Deputy Manager for Orion's Guidance, Navigation, and Control System.
It was fun. We got 9 more days of fun.
Let's do it.
question. Would you like us to do the PCS encampment checkout activity?
Indeed we would, and you are going to 4.1.
Copy all.
letting them know that any warnings they see on their screens can be ignored. No action is required of them right now. Those are reported by Prop about the reaction control system thrusters. We've seen those a couple of times tonight. The teams on the ground are working past. Right now, they'll be able to quiet those alerts on the crew's displays. Seeing some movement on your screen as Orion moves into its next attitude. Again, this video coming from the tip of a camera on the solar array wing. You also have a great view now of the European service module and that OMS engine. That's the Orbital Maneuvering System engine. This is a NASA-provided and refurbished engine. So far, not including today, it had been to space 19 times on 3 different space shuttles. The OMS engine provides about 6,000 pounds of thrust, and if you strapped it to a car on Earth, it would go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 2.7 seconds. Now 5 hours and 55 minutes since liftoff of the Artemis II mission. The Artemis II crew continuing to configure the cabin aboard the spacecraft. Again, a very long day for them, having woken up about 8 hours prior to launch. Now coming up on 6 hours mission elapsed time. Now since the launch of Artemis II, the Orion spacecraft atop the Space Launch System rocket. This is a test flight and the first flight of humans aboard the spacecraft. from the Orion spacecraft, a camera on its solar array wing looking back at us on Earth. Now we do have 4 astronauts working aboard the spacecraft. Wiseman. He's a Baltimore native. He's been in space before, and he was a flight engineer for Expedition 41 aboard the International Space Station from May through November 2014. A total 165-day mission, working on science experiments in areas like human physiology, medicine, physical science, earth science, and astrophysics. He also served as chief of NASA's astronaut office from December 2020 to November 2022. Reed has 2 daughters. We saw those 2 girls waving at him as he departed the operations and checkout building today, boarded the Astrovan, and went to the launch pad. Artemis 2 pilot is NASA astronaut Victor Glover. He was selected as an astronaut in 2013, when at that time he was serving as a legislative fellow in the U.S. Senate. His first trip to space was in November 2020. He launched as the pilot of NASA's SpaceX Crew 1 mission, which was the first operational mission of our commercial crew program, resumed launching American rockets from American soil to the space station since the end of the mission. He is a U.S. Navy captain and naval aviator who served as a test pilot. He has more than 3,500 flight hours in over 40 different aircraft. He added a spacecraft to that today as he piloted Orion during the flight operations demonstration. And he and his wife have 4 children. Next up is NASA astronaut Christina Cook. She is a mission specialist. The astronaut corps in 2013, being in the same class as Victor. She's previously served as a flight engineer on the space station from March 2019 to February 2020, making her the holder of the record for the longest single space flight by a woman. That's 328 consecutive days in space. She also participated in the first ever all-female spacewalk with NASA astronaut Jessica Meir, who's now living and working aboard the space station. And before becoming an astronaut, Christina helped build space science instruments and led work in remote environments. Surfing, rock climbing, community service, yoga, travel, and photography. Rounding out our crew is Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen. He is a first